Hello FlossTube, this is Bonnie Jeanne, also known as PostMuse, and my channel is Postally Yours. Today is Sunday, August 27, 28, I'm not 100% sure, but it is Sunday for sure. And this is FlossTube number 21. So I have a lot to show and talk about today. I'm very excited. A little bit later on, I have some very special happy mail that came in this week that I'm very excited about, and I can't wait to show everyone. But first of all, I want to talk a little bit about my ongoing organization project that I started about a month and a half ago, trying to get a handle on the many works in progress that I have, as well as the charts that I own that I haven't been categorizing and keeping track of. So I showed y'all a couple of weeks ago my Circa planner, which is from Levenger, and this has all of my works in progress in it, and I keep so I just, that was a bad one to pull open too. So like I will write down the name of the project, the fabric that I'm using, and the designer. All of those little tabs that you see right there. I just happened to notice that I have a lot of beachy, ocean, nautical themed works in progress at the moment. That's something new to me. But that's been great. This is now completely updated with all of my current and works in progress and all the charts that I have for going forward. The only thing that's not in here right now are the neglected whips from somebody in a chat the other day called them legacy whips, and that's pretty much what they are. They've been around for some of them, a couple of them for 30 years, and some of them at least 10. So that's still a project, but I'm not going to do that till this winter because I have an idea for that for next year. And then the other thing I did, because I'm really struggling keeping track of all the different fabrics I have, is that I got some index cards. It has a little binder thing on it, and it's on a ring, and on each of the, so I wrote the designer. For all of the different designers I have, they each have their own little card there. And then within that, I write down the name of the fabric, the count, and then down here, what project I'm currently using it for. My plan is going forward to have, once I get some of the stitches done, is to cut off a little square of the fabric and glue that to the back of the card, so that I always have that going forward. I don't need to have 5,000 different fabrics. I can just have a few different colors that I really love. Atomic Ranch right now is my very favorite. I really enjoy that. I do belong to their Fabric of the Month Club through Stitch New England, and that's part of the reason I love them so much, is because I'm getting to see an awful lot of them. The other one that I have a lot of in here is Picture This Plus. And I'm no longer buying much Picture This Plus. It just, I don't know. At one point, I thought that was the end-all be-all for fabric. But the thing that excited me the most this week is I came up with this idea. I'm just going to show you this project bag. So these are the kind of project bags that I use mostly. They are from Amazon. Some of these are from Blix Arts. When I was doing a lot of artwork, I would carry stuff around in these. But what I found were these stick-on business card holders. And I will put down exactly what they're called in my notes below. And then I had a ton of these. You can get them at any, I think you can get those stick-on business card holders at any like office supply like Staples or Home Depot. Not Home Depot. Office Depot? I don't even know if that exists. So I take the business card, and on the business card I write the name of the project, the designer, and the fabric that I am using for it. And it's right there at on the very top of the of the chart, which is nice because then I don't have to go fumbling around. It's right there when I'm talking about the works in progress that I've worked on that week. So that was my most exciting thing, and I have all those business cards that you put through the printer, and I was never going to use them. So I was really excited to finally have a use for all those business cards. And the little stick-on things were not expensive at all. So yeah, so now all of my envelopes all have the information on the front of them, so I know exactly what it is. And then when I'm storing them now, I store them this way, vertically like that, and I store them with the zipper pulled down so that Lucky does not continue to chew on zipper pulls and I have to worry about him choking. So first I want to before I go on to other things, I want to show you, I did actually do quite a bit of stitching this week. It was a really nice week for stitching, and I just want to show you what I've been working on. Not huge progress, but this one not very much progress at all, but a very, very enjoyable week stitching. It just was a very nice week. So the first one is the one that I just showed you, By the Ocean with Jane Austen. This is by the Sampler Girl, and this is on Atomic Ranch Ocean Sand 28 count linen, and that's what the design is going to look like. And I haven't gotten very far on this, but that is an A. If you couldn't tell, that's an A. So I got a little stitched out. But it's going to be a nice little stitch, and I love this fabric. Oh, it's to die for. This is Ocean Sand by Atomic Ranch. You can see, it's got a little bit of greens and blues. It's beautiful. This is part of the reason why I decided to do those cards, is because I want to somehow mark that card as this is a favorite fabric. I think I could use it for a lot of different things. And then my next one has a little story that goes with it. This one is Dreaming of Daisies by Rosewood Manor, and it's part of a series of dreaming of and then different flowers. So that's the pattern. You can see it's quite intricate. And I am doing it on a fabric by Lapin Loops, which is a new designer to me, and it's called Crypt Cloth, which I love because pushing up daisies. And I didn't get a lot. It's slow going because it's a lot of white, but that's what I've gotten done so far. I gotta remember to take my blue marking stains out. So I was stitching on this, and I was looking up online. I had been looking up other people who had stitched it and what they might have stitched on, and because I was really concerned about the white, and then I started stitching more white, and I was like, oh no, I'm fine. I love my Crypt Cloth. I love the reason I bought it. So I let that go, and then I was looking on a completely separate search. I was on Amazon, and I do not like Amazon. I try very, very hard not to buy anything from Amazon. I'm not a fan at all. I happened to be searching for cross-stitch books. I'm just kind of looking for small motifs, books of small motifs, international books, just different little books that I'd like to make a little library. And I wouldn't buy them on Amazon. Amazon makes it very easy to search, whereas a lot of other bookstores it's much harder to search. So I would find what I want on Amazon and then go find someplace, indie, and buy it. So anyway, I'm doing that. I'm scrolling down, and I see the picture of Dreaming of Daisies. Now, at first I wasn't super surprised because we all know our devices are listening, are watching. We can't do a thing without our devices paying attention. And I looked closer at it, and it was a kit. It was the exact same design, exact same name, everything. Everything was exactly the same. A kit that was printed on fabric. and it came from outside of the U.S. And I thought, you know what? I don't think Karen at Rosewood Manor would be authorizing this. I don't think she's partnering with somebody who's doing a kit that's got printed, stamped fabric. So I contacted Karen through her website, and she got back to me right away. She said, nope, I did not authorize that at all. And she got right in touch with Amazon, and within a day, she had it taken down. And she was saying how it's so hard to keep, her work under her name, so she's getting credit and she's getting the payments for it. And I was saying, yeah, I know. I mean, I see that all the time, and it's just one of those things we just have to keep, as a community, we just have to keep talking about it. If you see it on a big site like Amazon, or even worse, that Temu, any of those big sites, even Etsy, just make sure you're buying from the designer or somebody who's authorized to sell that design. That's the only way we're going to be able to start slowing down the spread of the stealing. And that's what it is stealing. And then another thing, I was saying how I want to live forever so that I can stitch all the dreaming of designs. And she said, she gave me a little hint as to what her next one is that'll be coming out pretty soon. And I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but I will say that I'm pretty sure it's going to be my birthday start this year. My birthday is in November, and I have a feeling, I'm pretty sure the design will be released, and that's definitely what I'm going to be stitching for my birthday. Yeah, it's going to be fun. The next one that I worked on was Garden Sampler, and this is by Carriage House Samplings. I'm doing this on Zweigart Vintage Country Mocha. And when I showed this last week, I was talking about how I really wanted to get the soil done. And I did. I finished all the soil. That took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. It feels so cool. I love how, I sat there after I finished it, I was like, oh, that feels so neat. I love how that feels. I know I shouldn't touch it too much because hands have oils, but it feels really cool. So now I can move along on that one and get more of that done. I think I'm going to go up one stem and then do the other stem for the alphabet. And then from there, I pulled out my Lighting the Way by Silver Creek Samplers. I am doing this on Fiber on a Whim, Silver Fox, and unless I say otherwise, it's 28 count linen. So this is the design, and I'll read the quote to you. It says, "Always be a lighthouse, shine your beacon bright, guide every soul adrift at sea throughout their darkest night," which I think is very sweet. And I want to get all of the light done. So I'm stitching, I'm doing 10 stitches, half stitches on all the words so that I can stitch the light. Not real thrilled with how the stitches are laying on this part over here, so I might take them out. So I might start the stitching and go back here. But I want to get that yellow in all the ways across, and then go back and cross all the stitches on the words. I find sometimes if I stitch all the words in, the lighter color looks really cramped, whereas if I stitch just half a stitch for all the words and then stitch the lighter color in the background, the lighter color lays flatter, and then when I go back and cross the darker color, it seems to just fit better. It just looks neater to me. Then my next one, so I do a Zoom meeting once a month with Stitch New England for fancy folk, and most people are working on Nora Corbett or Mirabilia, which I guess is one and the same. I just learned that this week. I am also working on a Nora Corbett, but not nearly as detailed as the Mirabilia. I don't think I know I won't ever stitch a Mirabilia. It's just, I'm not that dedicated of a stitcher. So I am working on Miss Spider, and I love her to pieces. However, we've canceled the, I've not been able to go once, and then we had to cancel. So it's been, and I typically only work on this when I am doing the Zoom meetings, so I haven't gotten very far. I'm stitching this on Wichlet, I should be able to pronounce that, Water Lily 16 count Aida. So this is where I am in here. I got some of the purple, some of the sleeve done. It looks really weird right now, but what I think I'm going to do is just continue on with the sleeves that come down, they dangle down, and get all the colors in, and then I can finish filling in the skirt, and then go up and do her head. There's a lot of beading in this, which will come at the very end. But this, I did almost all of this on Thursday night. I was pretty pleased with that progress, because, you know, you're chatting and everything while you're doing that. Oh yeah, I was pleased with that. Oh! I was talking the my goodness, the surprises. I was talking how I used to have a beading mat and I couldn't find it. I just opened the bag out and I took out all of the stuff that was in it. And there's the beading mat that I've been looking for. It was right in the bag where it's supposed to be. Oh, that's good. I don't have to rebuy that. I enjoy doing that little stitchy group. It's a lot of fun. And then I did some stitching on Silver Creek Samplers, my ABCs. This is my first time ever stitching on really tiny linen. This is 32 count. Actually, it's not linen. Yes, linen. 32 count linen. I wrote Aida down. I'm going to have to fix that. And this is what it looks like. It's a very small design. I love how the crab has a little umbrella. And I made some pretty decent progress on it. Once I discovered that I had all those nautical stitches in my whips, I was like, oh, that's what I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna work on a lot of nauticals. So there we go. There's my ABCs. I love it. It'll say up here, it'll say, now I know my A, B, and then C's is S-E-A-S. I just love it. Very pleased with that. But since I spent so much time on nautical this week, I think I won't, I think I'm going to pick the other ones for next week. The next one up is Nantucket Beach. This is by Dames of Needlework. This is an older chart. I am stitching it on fiber on a Whim Celestine. I have not gotten very far with this one. So this is what it looks like. So Pam at Stitch New England, I was talking about stitching, I don't think it was this chart, but I was talking about stitching something, and she said, yes, that's very prim. And I thought, oh, that's a cute word, prim. I mean, you know, like proper, and you know. And then I realized, oh, she means primitive. So yes, so this is I would guess would be what the very definition of primitive is. So it has these clouds up here, and the clouds are stitched in the same thing as the little beach houses. And I had started stitching the clouds in, and I wasn't really happy because it's got a little bit, it's oatmeal, and it's got a little bit of a brown tint, and I wasn't thrilled with it. So I took I did some more, I'm trying to get the sand done. And then all the first three houses in. And then once I get that in, I did buy a few different kinds of whites. I'm not thrilled with any of them because they're a little bit too white for all of the threads that are already on here. I don't know. I'm gonna probably take it with me to Stitch New England the next time I go and see if I can find. But I need to get more colors on it before I decide what I want to do with with the clouds, but I like how it looks. And again, this is another one that I was like, ooh, that feels so cool. I like how that feels. I know this fiber on Whim Celestine is another beautiful blue color. I really like it. And then, continuing our Seaside, I did some work on my Seaside tiny town. I did succumb to a tiny town. There's a wall behind me that I'm planning to do all in nautical stuff. I have a cute little mermaid, handmade little driftwood mermaid, and I'm going to put a little shelf behind me, and I'm going to turn the tiny town Seaside into a drum, like here, and that will sit with the mermaid. And then I'll have some pictures and some standing. So I didn't get very much further on it. I had last time I showed it, I had just finished the crab over here in the corner here, and all I got done was a little bit more of the house that he's standing in front of. This is on Atomic Ranch Prairieland. Again, another beautiful fabric that I'd like to have. It's coming. It's not quite. It's a little bit warmer. The brown is a little warmer than it's showing there. It's showing a little bit cold. It's very pretty. It really can't go wrong with that Atomic Ranch. And then the next one was a new start this week. And the reason I started it was because when I was cleaning up my fabric, I found a piece of fabric that I had started a project on, and I didn't like it because it's dark fabric, and it was a lot of different colors, and I was really struggling with stitching on a dark fabric, many different colors and many changes, many motifs. So I had this in my stash. This is by Luminous Fiber Arts. This is just simply called Stitcher, and this is the fabric. It is by Atomic Ranch, and it's called Bayou. Let's see, it's very dark. So I pulled out, I was sitting on the floor, and I had every one of my fancy floss. I keep them in thread, the little floss away bags, the little plastic bags. I had them all spread out all around me, and I came up with, so it is called Green Onion, and it's by Classic Colorworks. And I started with the bird. See the bird there in the middle? And I like it. I love the way it's kind of a greenish blue. It's more green than blue. It's showing up blue here, but it is more green than blue. But I really like it. And I think that's, so I wanted to do a few stitches on this brown to see if I was going to love it. And I do. And I really think that's going to be really pretty on the brown with the green blue. The fabric, you can't really see, it does have a little bit of a green blue modeling in it. Yeah, I'm gonna love this. So that was a new start this week. I'm gonna have to get some more of the Green Onion floss, but that's never a problem, is it? Yeah, really came out pretty. And then the last one that I worked on this week that I spent the most time on and that I had the blast on is my Bent Creek Under the Sea. And I'm stitching this on Atomic Ranch Vapors. So it's different from the call for fabric. It's kind of a bluish gray. And I thought I would have it finished for today. But I am just a wee bit off. I'll show you what I have left. So I didn't realize there are two more fish that go up here. So I had to stitch those two more goldfish. I love the French knot eyes. They crack me up. And then the mermaids, I still need to finish some of her tail. And the mermaid and the fish that's jumping up here are in the exact same colors, which I think is kind of cool. And then there's an anchor down here. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So I guess it's back stitched, but it'll look funny with all back stitches. The rope goes from here to about up here. And I've heard of something called couching. So I thought I would just take the stitch from here, bring it down to the anchor, and then secure it, and then try couch stitching just to keep it kind of like it's straight. I have to watch some YouTube videos on that, because the anchor is going to connect to a companion piece that's called rowboat that's up here, and the rope from the anchor, it's not going to connect. They're going to be framed separately, but they're supposed to look like one is connected to the other. So yeah, so that's where I'm almost done. I think once I finish my video tonight, while I'm waiting for it to upload, I will finish this up. I had to do her mouth too, the mermaid's mouth. But yeah, it's cute, cute, cute. I love this. And once I finish this one, I can start on a companion piece, because I'm using the same fabric. It's called, like I said, Vapors by Atomic Ranch. So that's it for the works that the stitches that I actually put in this week. So the next thing I wanted to talk about were, I have these little baskets that I like, so like this basket here. So I have these baskets that I keep my projects that I haven't started working, and I've been calling them for a while, upcoming whips and future whips. And as I was thinking about it, I was like, they're not really works in progress, though. You just put them in a bag. But then, I was watching the Camping Stitcher, and she just started designing her own charts, and she has one it's something about stash, and it says once it's in my cart, once it's in the shopping cart, it's considered stash. I'm going to put a picture of it up here in the corner, or there. I'm not sure which side it goes on. I'll put a picture of that, and I will link her Etsy shop, because she just started designing. It's a cute one, but it's on the same idea. Once it's in the cart, even if you haven't pushed the button, it's part of your stash. And once it's here and it's in a bag, it's a whip. I might as well I'm going to call it a whip. It's already here, and it's in a bag, and it's a work in progress. So this is first I'm going to show you my upcoming whips. So these, my plan is that I'm going to I actually have a label on it. My plan is that I will start these once I finish a project over here. I can pick up one of these. So the first one is Autumn Alphabet. I have floss for a lot of them. I have the floss already pulled, but I don't have fabrics yet. I need to get my head together to do that. So this is by Primrose Cottage. It's called Autumn Alphabet. And I was at Stitch New England, and I saw this, and I just had to have it, because look at those long skinny pumpkins. They are so cute, and I love all the blackbirds. Even though I promised myself I wasn't going to buy any more alphabets. So that's my first one. The next one is one that I've had in my stash for a while. I did pick out some fabric for it, though. So I'll show you the fabric, too. This is called I Need a Fairy Coffee Mother, and this is by Heartstring Samplers. And this is fiber on a whim, and it's called Tuscan, and I'm going to try to show you the floss toss with it. So, ooh, the color comes out nice. So this is fiber on a whim. It's called Tuscan, and it's mostly browns. The only pinky one that I have in here is that one there, which I think looks lovely on this. And I think all the colors are going to look really pretty on this. So, because I have the fabric and the floss, this will probably be the first one I pick up when I finish something over there. I love my coffee. I was talking to a customer today when I was dropping off coffee. I was talking to him about that I'm a coffee snob, and he gets a shipment every week. And it always comes on Sunday. And he says, I don't need this on Sunday. I need it on Monday. I said, I have to deliver it when it comes to the post office, so you get it on Sundays. The next one is a kit, and it's called Flowers Bookmark Kit. It's by Haystack Stitching, so it's all together, and it's paper. So can you see? So you stitch. I don't really know how it works, but you stitch on the paper, and you make these cute little paper bookmarks that have cross stitch on them. I wanted to see if I could figure out how to, to do it, and then I can make my own kits and then just stitch these up. I don't know that I'll ever go to a cross-stitching convention because I tend to get very nervous with a bunch of people, and I mean, even 20 people, I think I'd be a basket case. So I'm not sure I'll ever make it, but it would be nice to have a bunch of those little bookmarks ready if I do. The next one is a new to me designer, and I got this at Stitch New England. This is the Artsy Housewife, and this is Golden Delicious, and these apples just look so yummy up there. And I don't like delicious apples, Golden Delicious apples at all, but that's okay. I'm going to enjoy. So it's a big stitch. It is like on 28 count, it would be 9 by 15 inches. So that's a big stitch for me. I know for a lot of people that isn't. But the colors so far are just so yummy. Oh, that's not showing up very well. When I have fabric, I haven't got fabric for that yet. When I have fabric, I'll show you the colors of the flosses. Yeah. And then the next one is I'm going to hopefully find fabric for and start stitching next week, because there is an online stitching group that meets on Zoom, and they're doing Halloween things. I don't do a lot of Halloween stitches, but this one I couldn't resist because it's not Halloween, it's Owlowing. And this is by Luminous Fiber Arts. He's so cute. They are so cute. And the colors of the floss, they pretty much, I mean, I'm not a huge, as much as I love coffee, I do not really care for pumpkin spice. I'm not a flavored coffee person, but if floss could be pumpkin spice, this is what it would look like. Here, let me put a, look at that. That is pumpkin spice, if ever I saw it, with the cream on the top. So the whole time I'm stitching this, I'm going to be craving pumpkin spice, even though I don't really like it. I hope to start this on this week, even though I probably won't have finished. Well, yeah, I will have finished. I will have finished my Under the Sea, so that'll give me an excuse. And the next one I actually have some fabric for. I'm not sure I'm going to stay with it, but I'll show it to you anyway. This one I've had in my stash for a little while. It is Little House Needleworks. It's called Kitty Cottage Sampler. And I like it because it likes this catnip up there. Purr. I mean, it's just so cute. So the fabric that I have for this is Picture This Plus Doubloon, and this is 32 count. Bought this by accident. I have this for another project that I'm working on, and since this is a small stitch, I think I'll be fine with stitching on 32 count, but we'll see. But I think those colors look pretty together. I mean, the only one that's a little bit close is that one there, but even that, wait a minute, let me get a better handle on it. Where is it? See, there it is. But that's going to show up fine. That goldenly brown one right there. So I think I'm going to stick with that, and that'll be Another little challenge, stitching on 32 count. That's Picture This Plus to Bloom. And I'm trying, when I put my descriptions in, I'm trying to make sure that I have all of the fabrics listed too. The next one I am just going to be stitching, oh no, this is Love is Love by Jan Hicks. And this fabric I have for it, I'm not 100% sure it's going to work, but I think so. I picked it for the name. So this is Love is Love. And this is kind of a variation of the LGBT GIA plus cross stitch. Flag. And the fabric is Picture This Plus. It is one of the ones that I've had. It's called Legacy. And I like it. I mean, I think it's pretty. And I liked the idea of it being called Legacy because, you know, the advancements that we've made in Pride and so forth it should be our legacy. Maybe not my generation. My generation can take some credit for that, but the generation right now, they've been doing an awful lot to help with that, to make it so that it's not so scary for young people, especially if they choose to be non-binary, even at a young age. It can be really difficult. The next one is another huge project. I don't know what I was thinking. What I chose for this is Music Amongst the Trees. This is another Rosewood Manor. And I will read the little saying down there. It says, "There is always music amongst the trees in the garden, but our hearts must be very quiet to hear it." And that's, I can't read her name, but I remember looking up Marie Aumonier, who was a poet from the 18th century. But there was more about her that I really liked. And I am doing this on a fabric called Fox and Rabbit Ballet Slippers, which to me looks, I taught dance for 17 years, and this looks like a pair of ballet slippers. I mean, it's not as pink as it's looking there. It has more brown than the pink. It is definitely ballet pink, and the stitch has a lot of pinks in it, but they don't clash with this peachy pink, browny pink at all. It looks really nice. This one might be just a wee bit, but not enough that it's going to bother me. And of course, the reason I picked this is because this is Music Amongst the Trees, and this is Ballet Slippers, because where there's music, there's dance, at least in my world. So that's a big stitch. It'll be a while. And this is another new chart that I saw, and I really had to have because of the it just resonated. This is called New Doors. This is by Ink Circles. And it's a bunch of locks and keys, and I'll read what it says because it's hard to read. It's in a green font. Old keys won't open new doors. So as I struggle each day through my mail routes and the hours, the next 2 weeks are going to be like 50, 60-hour weeks, and I'll only get paid for 30. So I'm going to be working, 30 hours for free over the next 2 weeks, with no PTO, none of that. I keep thinking I need something different. I need to be doing something different because this is getting crazy. I'm too tired. I'm exhausted all the time. And I know it's just mostly because it's summertime and it'll get slower. But then it's dark, and so then I'm out delivering mail in big, gigantic packages in the dark. So I don't know. So anyways, the fabric I chose for this is Picture This Plus. Again, I had it on hand. It's called Mirage, 28 count linen. And the floss tosses don't really, it's hard to do. So there is one grayish purple color in here. Oh, if I can just pull it out. I like these little floss drop thingies. These make it a lot neater, but they're expensive. So that's the purpley gray color, which will look very nice with it. And then there's another paler purple color that I think will still, right there. It'll kind of go, it'll kind of blend in a little bit, but I'm okay with that. It's going to be kind of like the white on the white that we've done for a gazillion trillion years. I think I'm gonna enjoy this. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Lugana. I wrote linen. It's 28 count Lugana. I gotta go back and correct my little cards. Good thing I have a whiteout pen. That's New Doors. We're getting to my special one. The next one is by that new designer to me, Artsy Housewife. I don't have any fabric picked out for this. I just couldn't stand it. It's just so cute. It's an owl. Una owl. Una owl. Just so cute. How can I resist? Yeah, una owl. And my happy mail. Look at this. My very first fabric project bag, and it's mail themed. And it has a separate little pocket that goes with it, which I thought was so cute. So this came to me from Sharon in Maine. I will see if I can find her. I know her Instagram. I'm not sure if I know where, if she's got a floss tube. She probably does. There's just so many floss tubers. So this is the beautiful card she sent to go with it. I love this. And as soon as I opened this up, I was showing it off at work. And, so exciting. And, I pulled it out and I was doing this, and my coworkers looked at me and they looked at this little bag. Oh, is that for cosmetics? And I looked at them and I said, have you looked at me? No, it's not for cosmetics. I don't wear any makeup at all. I said, that's for my threads and everything, little things that go with my stitching when I travel with it. And they were funny. So what is in this is very appropriate. This is Cottage Garden. This is in that Snowman series. This is the Postman. How perfect is that? And this is probably, unless something comes out in the next couple of months that just rings my bells. I'm not a huge fan of that whole series, so this is probably the only one I'll ever stitch in that series. I like him. I think he's very cute. I like the first one too, which was the needle person, the needle snowman. But I didn't particularly care for. It's just stitching too much white. And what I'm stitching this on is Atomic Ranch Pampas Road. Yeah, that's better. It's just a very neutral fabric. And this is 28 count linen. And it's gonna live in this fabric bag. So this is by evertote.com. And another stitcher that I just watched a huge whip parade. She's Canadian. She's a Canadian, and I couldn't come up with her name. I looked back on my YouTube, I couldn't come up with her name. She talks a lot about these Evertotes because she's Canadian, so she tries to buy Canadian. And I'll put the name of the company below. They have a very distinctive tag. It says made in Canada. But it's a beautiful bag. Nicely padded. I love it. Thank you. Thank you very, very much, Sharon. I'm so excited. Oh, my very first. Yep. And I probably will always have some kind of a postal theme going, so that'll get a lot of use. Almost done with the upcoming whips. Then I have a few future whips. The next one is Seasonal Sunshine. This is by Ink Circles. I swear I'm not going to buy any more seasonal stitches, but this one I thought was kind of cool. It is full coverage. It's not a very big stitch. It is full coverage. It is all, you know, very bright colors. So I read, there was just an article, I don't remember where it was recently, about we also focused on going smaller and smaller, you know, down to 40 count and so forth. We're also focused on that. I forget sometimes how cool a project can look on a big piece of fabric. So I decided to do this on just plain old 14 count Aida. Plain old white 14 count Aida. It will be huge. I will probably have to use 3 strands. It's all DMC though, so it's not a hardship to, you know, to buy. I have tons of DMC. So yeah, I'll probably be doing it 3 over 1 just to make sure it has full. I don't know. I'll start with 2 over because I prefer to do 2, and see how it shows up. But this will be a nice big, bright stitch. So you can see that's going to be very, very bright. I like how they have the cube too, but I want it being big and bright, and I want to hang it on my entryway when you come in to my place. Excited about that. That'll be nice. And then I have this one. I do have fabric for. This is Stitching Squirrels. I have a thing for squirrels lately. And this is by the Blue Flower, and it comes with the patterns, all 3 patterns. I'm going to be doing this one first, and it's made into like a little pinch bowl, which I kind of thought was kind of cool. I think I'd like to try that. I also love the basket of acorns too. I'll probably stitch that at some point. The fabric I found for this is Fox and Rabbit, and it's called Dirt Track. It's kind of grungy, and I kind of love it. It's brown, and the background has got purpliness to it, which I love. I love purple. Okay, when I'm looking at that on the screen, I can see a face right here. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit. I'm going to have to be careful when I start stitching this, that I pick where I start stitching so I don't have that face staring at me. Because now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. And then my last one in my upcomings is the one that everybody's working on right now. And I have been wanting to do it. It's just I'm so scared because I probably won't live to finish it, but somebody in my family will finish it. This is Lila Studio. I'm not dying or anything. It's not what I meant. But this is a big stitch. This is a huge stitch for me. This is Summer Quaker by Lila Studio. And I know there's a stitch along going on, but I'm trying not to get too involved in that kind of stuff because it always makes me feel guilty. I'm doing this on a 20 count Aida. So I figured I could go real small. I mean, I think that translates to 40 count linen, right? I could go real small at the count because it's Aida, and I just thought that'll make it, you know, easier for me to count. So this is, did I say the name? It's Fiber on a Whim, and it's called Cream and Sugar. Nope, it's not the same color as the wall. It has a little bit of a green tinge to it. It's I mean, it says Cream and Sugar, but I can pick up just a little the brown, the cream in it has a little bit of a green. It'll be pretty. I may start this before I finish another one of those projects over there, just to put a few stitches in, just to say I've joined the bandwagon. So those are all my upcoming whips. Just silly, I know. And then these are my future whips. So, on the same vein as Fairy Coffee Mother, this is by Heartstring Samplers. This is called Coffee Saves Lives. And I just love that it is a very old-fashioned sampler. And it does say coffee saves lives in there. So, I mean, you know, somebody walking in would just look, oh, that's just an old-fashioned sampler. And then they get a little closer and this is coffee saves lives. And I have been purchasing a lot of patterns that are related to cross stitch. This is yet another one. This is Madame Chantilly. This is Celebrate Cross Stitch. It's very pretty. Again, these are future, so I don't have any idea as to when I might do them. I just wanted them in my book and organized so that I knew where they were. This is one I've had for a bit. Antique animal sampler. This is by Elizabeth's Needlework Designs, and this is all done in fancy floss. This one I just picked up recently. It's by Tiny Modernist. I thought that once I finished Miss Spider on my Fancy Folk, that maybe this is the one that I would pick up next. This is called Bee Queen. I love her to pieces. I think I might be doing her on a light blue fabric. I think that'll look really pretty on light blue. Thank you very much. And then Carriage House Samplings had last autumn, they started a new series. It's called From Trudy's Kitchen. We have a woman in town who is very generous with providing food, especially during COVID, for families who were in need. So I love that this is from Trudy's Kitchen. It's not the same Trudy, but there's two so far in the series. This one is called Apple Dumpling, and there's a recipe on the back of the chart. And this one's called Egg in a Bowl. I love that the egg is sitting on top of her head and the chicken's on top of the egg. I kind of like to see, of course these aren't anytime in the near future, I kind of like to see what else she comes up with for charts, because I'm kind of thinking a triptych would be, I think that's how you pronounce it, 3 in a row would be a nice way to have to display those. So I could do, if the third one, when the third one comes out, then I could start it, make them all 3 in a row. Be neat. Maybe by then I'll be stitching on smaller count. The next one I got because it reminded me of my cat Lucky. Hissed Off by Silver Creek Samplers. Lucky doesn't get that grouchy look. Lucky is it's a very long hair cat. He doesn't get grumpy. He's just not a bright kitty. But he does get hissed off if I don't feed him or give him his treats when he thinks he should have them. This one is Let's Visit New England, and this is by Imaginating. And at my local, at Stitch New England, somebody did this up where it says Stitch up here, so Stitch New England is the name of the shop. At the end of this video, I'm going to try to put in a little video. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to try to put in a little video of Stitch New England, of the shop itself, so you can see it. It's a great little shop. Then this is Little Sheep Virtues. This is by Little House Needleworks. There's a whole bunch of these. I picked the ones, that one's Joyfulness. I picked the ones that like spoke to me. Oh, Simplicity. Like I'm making anything simple with all these plans that I'm making. Kindness. There's a couple more I'd like to pick up too before I can't get them. And Wisdom. So there's a couple more that I'd like to pick up, and when I have them all picked up, I want to make them into one chart also. And then last October, last autumn, I got really into the whole Quakers. I discovered Quakers. So I bought 2 Quaker designs. This is Quakers in Italy by Tempting Tangles, Deborah Dick. And then Quakers in Scotland. Just love them. And this is another series that I just bought, even though I promised myself I wouldn't do any more seasonals. Couldn't resist. This is Little House Needleworks, and they are the ABCs. So this is summer ABCs. I love the frame. I want to find that exact frame and frame them all in the same frame. This is autumn ABCs. Winter. And spring. And as you can see, I saved this one for last because you can see some of the letters will have different words right next to them, which I think that's what kind of drew me to them. And then I've had this one for a little while. This is Cooler Designs. This is vintage postcards. Obviously why I would choose something like that. There's 2 designs in the kit. It's not a kit. In the charts. I like them both. I love her hat. And then finally, I thought I saved this one for last because it's appropriate. So this is the last of my future whips. Whip it good. This is Heartstrings Samplery. I like that. So I'll do that in one color. It'll probably be purple. I don't know what color I'll put the background on, but yeah, that'll be way in the future. But I like having, I really do like having all my charts and stuff, well, except for the legacy ones. And again, I'm not going to look at those until late November, early December. I'm just putting them aside. I'm not going to let them bother me. Yeah, so those are my upcoming and future whips. And then I was watching another FlossTube. I've been trying to catch up with my FlossTubes. I've gotten way behind. And Kensington Cross Stitch, Deborah, she had been doing whip parades, and she also, last time, she showed a couple of other kits that she has that are not cross stitch related, but kind of adjacent. And I thought I might show you guys. I have 3, just 3, and they're 3 kits that I've had them for a long time. And this winter I really want to get them into rotation somehow. The first one is a needle felting kit, and this is oh god, so cute. Look at that. It's a little raccoon. Oh my god, and a raincoat. So it's needle felting, and you get all of the felt for the clothing, and then directions that I haven't even opened, and floss, and the wool that you, and there's a needle in here somewhere too, I'm sure, that you poke so that you can make the body of the raccoon. There's probably other things that I'll need to purchase to do the kit, or maybe there isn't, I don't know. I bought this years ago. I was at a craft show, and the woman was selling these kits, and she had a finished product, and I couldn't stand it. I had to have it. So that's my little raccoon. I'll put the information about that woman below. The next one is something called slow stitching, and this I came upon during at the beginning of COVID. So it's fabric piece. I'm going to take it out because it's really glary. This is by Wattle and Loop, and they partnered with an art glass company for this chart. So as you can see, it's just pieces of fabric that are kind of placed and then kind of embroidered over. And I just want to show you the pieces. So you get a piece of muslin, and she has a lot of different kits, not just trees. I'll link to her below. She has a wonderful Facebook page where you can see a lot of her work. So you get an envelope like this. She gives you embroidery thread. She gives you everything you need, and then the fabric. She cuts out all of the fabric so that you cut out the leaves, and then she gives you the template for the leaves, and you cut them out, and then you use a glue stick to glue them down, like a fabric glue stick to lightly glue them down. I think it's going to be fun. Again, as I said, not something I've ever done before. I was really, like all of us, when COVID first started, I was really looking for things that I could do, that I could just sit and do and not have to pull out a machine, or but I never did get to it. So maybe this winter. Maybe it's something my sister Jeanette and I can do together. That's by Wattle and Loop. It's called Slow Stitching. And the last one is very much related to cross stitch. This is another one about the beginning of COVID. This is by Nancy's Needle. It's called A Winter's Night. And I believe this is called needlepoint, but I can't find what it's called anywhere. So this is, you get the fabric, and then so it's like perforated paper, but it's not paper. It is fabric. And then you use little brads and you put it on the frame, and then you go and you take. Where do you see the fibers that go with this? So I started reading through it when I first got it, and I was totally overwhelmed, and I put it aside, and I haven't picked it up since. But look at, it's really thick fiber. The colors, and they're all different weights. The colors are just gorgeous. And you can see, how beautiful is that? Oh, I don't know. It uses size 22 tapestry needles, which is not something I've ever used. This floss is called Snow. It's glittery. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. I really want to get a start on it this winter. A Winter's Night. No idea how, back in March of 2020, we were all just searching for anything. And I think what happened was this purchase happened when, because I didn't know any needle shops. Stitch New England didn't exist then, and I didn't really know any needlework shops. 123 was having a real hard time keeping up because everybody and their uncle were buying cross stitch material. So 123 was having a hard time keeping up, and I remember I found this, and it was easy to get. It was expensive as all get out, but because it's gorgeous, gorgeous fibers, but I couldn't resist it, and so I bought it all, and it came, and I sat down, I opened the directions, and I said, oh, my head can't take this, I can't do it. But now I feel a little bit less overwhelmed. So even though you've seen something like 76 works in progress that or not all works in progress, but charts and stuff that I have, I do feel good about having it all organized. And so anyways, again, how cute, how cute, how cute. Perfect for me. I think I'm looking at my notes here, but I think that's it. I will try to put all of the details down below. And I thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week upcoming and enjoy a lot of stitching time. And wherever you live in the world, I hope you are finding joy wherever you can. It's been tough, I know, for a lot of people. So I wish you all the best, and thank you again for watching. Bye for now.